$200 prepaid debit cards could be hitting your mailbox within the next couple weeks. This is a follow-up video to the two videos I had last weekend talking about these $200 prepaid cards for Medicare beneficiaries from President Trump's executive order that he recently signed. Also, if you think this video is going to be helpful for any of your friends, your families, your neighbors, please be sure to share this with them. The reason I say that is because there's still so much confusion around these $200 prepaid cards, stimulus checks, rental assistance, food assistance, you name it. There's a lot of confusion. So as I always say in my videos, I'm your daily advocate for everybody in the categories that I always list: Social Security, retirement, to disability and survivors, SSI, supplemental security income, VA, RRB, low income, no income. Like I always say, I'm your daily advocate, so if you know anybody in those categories that could benefit from these videos, please share this with them. But hey, if you're new here, my name is Matt. Welcome back to the channel, and please be sure to hit the subscribe button. But let's get right into it and talk about these prepaid cards at a rate of $200 because I continue to get so many questions and there's a lot of concern about these. So let's get right into it. I have a whole list of information here that I'm going to hit on in this video, and I hope this helps you. All right, let's jump into it. So really quickly, I'm going to briefly run through what are these cards, and then I'll get into more specifics of like the questions that I've been receiving and all of that. So not that long ago, President Trump signed an executive order that would issue $200 prepaid cards to Medicare beneficiaries to help with pharmacy copays and premium payments. Now, in my other videos last weekend, there was a lot of confusion on who's going to receive these cards, but I actually am going to break that down in this video and who unfortunately will miss out on these cards, which again, I'll talk about in this video. This executive order has a price tag of roughly $6.6 billion. However, that excludes administration costs. However, it's estimated that with administration costs, this whole executive order is going to cost roughly $7 billion. Now, these $200 prepaid cards are expected to reach 33 million Americans. That's a big number. That's a lot of people, and that's nice. I know it's not a $1,200 stimulus check. I know that, but you know what? $200 during these times that we're going through right now, even if it's for pharmacy, copays, things like that, I feel like even $200 is welcomed for many people. Here's the unfortunate part. Roughly 13 million people will unfortunately miss out on these $200 prepaid cards. These 13 million people are those people who have Medicare, but also receive, in addition to that, federal assistance, federal subsidies to help them with their pharmacy coverage, their pharmacy copays, their pharmacy premiums. Unfortunately, that's 13 million people. Like I said in my other videos, it makes me sad to see this number because I feel like these are probably the most vulnerable of all the people, right? These 13 million. I mean, clearly, if they're getting federal assistance in addition to their Medicare, probably they need some additional help. So I don't know. I just feel bad that they're going to be missed out. I feel like everybody needs so much more assistance right now. So it's said that these $200 prepaid cards are going to be funded out of the Medicare Trust Fund. Again, just like everything, there's a lot of opposition with that. There's people saying it's going to drain the Medicare fund and that's going to be the end of Social Security. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. These Social Security, these benefits will continue to live on. They will continue to fund these programs. I've talked about that in other videos, but again, that's beyond the scope of this video. I can talk about that in a different video. So either way, I mean, I hope that helps so far, but let's get into some of the numbers here. Now, we did not find specific information. I did extensive research on this. I did not find this anywhere. However, I did find some independent numbers that I came up with myself with other research, and I found kind of some consistencies to kind of determine who's going to get these cards and who is not going to get these cards. So one of the searches that I did was how many people in the United States, how many Americans in the United States in 2020 receive Medicare Part D benefits? Because in my videos last weekend, I was saying, who's going to be eligible? Anybody receiving Medicare, whether it's Part A, Part B, Part D, all of the above, maybe just Part A, like is it going to include all those people or just Medicare Part D recipients? Well, here's what I've come up with and here's what we can maybe anticipate based on this information. 47 million Americans receive Medicare Part D benefits, okay? 47 47 million Americans. Now, as I said before, roughly 13 million Americans will unfortunately miss out on this. So we also said that 33 million Americans will be receiving these cards. So let's do some simple math. We have 47 million Americans receiving Medicare Part D. If we minus off the 13 million that we anticipate will not be included in these cards, we come up with a number of 34 million. Well, it's not 33 million, but guess what? It's really close to 33 million, that 34 million. So 47 million total receiving Part D, minus off the 13 million who we anticipate could be left out and not receive these, brings us down to 34 million, which, like I said, that's really close to that 33 million that they anticipate will receive these. Okay, so I did not find evidence in all of these reports regarding these $200 prepaid cards to who's actually going to receive them. However, with my own independent research that I did here, I kind of came up with the fact that, okay, it must be just Medicare Part D recipients, because if we include all Social Security recipients that receive Medicare, it's a much, much bigger number than 33 million. We're in the like mid 60s, like 62, 65 million people in this country have Medicare. So the numbers just don't come out that way. However, when I research Part D beneficiaries, it comes out much more closely. So again, I didn't find it anywhere in all of this information I was researching regarding these executive orders, who's going to be included, but it looks like it's probably most likely going to be those recipients who have Medicare Part D. As all of us know, that is for the pharmacy drug coverage. All right, let me get into some of the most frequently asked questions that I've seen in the comment section on my last two videos, and let me help clarify this a little bit further. A lot of the questions, so I'm going to go through these questions and just answer them. People are asking, can this card be used for food? No, it cannot be used for food. It must be used for pharmacy copays or premiums. That's the only two elements that they have outlined. So food, no. Over the counter, again, that's a little bit of a gray area, but I would say no, because it's not a copay and it's not a premium. So unless you have a doctor's note, like if you have a prescription for, say, aspirin or something like that, and maybe you have a small copay on it for some reason, if they run it through insurance for whatever reason, I guess technically you could probably use it for that then. But just if you walk up to the counter and buy, just anything over the counter, unfortunately, I'm going to say no. So again, that's another common question that I see there. Another question being cash. Can you go to the ATM and get cash? No. You can't. Unfortunately, you cannot get cash. I wish you could. I mean, I wish they put a little caveat within these cards where you could go to the ATM and withdraw $200 in cash. That would be pretty nice for a lot of people. And lastly, this one, again, please don't be upset with me. I'm just the messenger. But will SSI recipients be eligible for these cards? Unfortunately, my answer to that is probably no. The reason I say no is because I think SSI recipients are going to fall into that 13 million category, whereas if you receive Social Security and SSI simultaneously, you receive both of those benefits, you likely also have Medicare, but unfortunately, SSI recipients also have Medicaid. Medicaid is a federally funded, partially federally funded program, which, like I said earlier, 13 million people will be missed out who have federal assistance. Well, as we know, Medicaid is partially state, partially federally funded. So unfortunately, I think SSI recipients fall into that category. So again, please don't be upset with me. I'm just the messenger. I'm here to help in any way I can. Again, if you find these videos to be helpful, please be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Otherwise, share these videos with your friends, your family, your neighbors, anybody that you find could be helpful, could benefit from this information. So I hope this helps. Once again, to answer the questions, enjoy your day, and I'll continue to watch all of the stimulus information to let you know when we're going to receive those second stimulus checks. Enjoy your day, everybody.